Hey, this is Dre with BraceYourself.Podcast. And I know you haven't seen me in a while. I've kind of taken a hiatus. I had some medical issues I had to attend to, and everything turned out to be just fine. So, yay for me. But we're back now, and we will continue to have our interviews back on schedule. And today's honored guest that we have is Arturo from Risen Kingdom Studios, and
So
he
much.
is an amazing, amazing artist. And I love your background so much. Thank you for doing this, by the way. How are you doing today?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm doing great. Just trying to keep up with my sleep and keep on creating. But I'm
Yeah.
doing great so far, and yeah, we're
Okay.
here. Making it happen.
Yeah, yeah. So I wanted to figure out some things about your art. I've seen you sketching and painting smaller projects, but I know that you're more known for your murals and your designs, your clothing line, things like that. Um, what part of yourself made you discover that you discover about yourself in creating the things that you create?
I would say it's more my background and the stuff that I kind of been through. Um, Childhood memories, stuff kind of I grew up on, like it can come from like anime, Dragon Ball Z, all the way to cultural and religious as well. So there's a whole bunch of subjects I'm trying to grasp on, and then just throw it out there for the people so they could actually see my vision.
Yeah, that's great. Your background is a Hispanic background.
Yeah, yes. This is actually a blanket. I got it from Playa del Carmen. So I was at some point of my life, I was running out of inspiration. I was running dry,
Yeah,
like most of us could probably relate to. And they call it like painter's block or whatever.
art block. Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, art block. So, at some point I was like, okay, well, I need a vacay. I need a vacation. So I ended up booking a flight. My sister lives in Playa del Carmen. So I went to go see her and just visit her for, I think it was 2 weeks. And we went down to the market and I started just, searching around, just looking at antiques, looking at, you know, pre-Hispanic or
Right.
era or all that stuff, all the bracelets or all the, necklaces with the jaguar and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And I was like, man, it's about time so I can embrace my culture again, like it's about time so I could do something for my people. And I was like, okay, so I saw this is actually one of the blankets. I'm gonna show you the next in a little bit. I'm gonna show you the other blanket that I bought.
Okay.
And these two blankets gave me the inspiration to start building a whole new projects. That's why I started my whole skull collection. My skull collection, it's kind of based inspired by this blanket that you see on the background.
Oh, okay.
So so that's why I embraced a lot into that whole two series that I've been doing lately on skull collections. So it was kind of more like inspired from Dia de los Muertos all the
Yeah.
way to cultural, where it's Frida Kahlo. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute my Frida Kahlo collection as well. Frida Kahlo, and man, big fan. I'm a huge fan of her. Not
Yeah.
not so much honestly for his. I mean, her artistic, talent, no doubt, was there,
Yes.
but it was more she inspired me because of her spirit, her warrior
Yeah.
spirit,
I think
like
she
her
inspired a
struggles
lot of
and all
us.
that.
Yeah, I think she's inspired many artists, even those who aren't part of our culture. I think she's been a
Yeah,
big inspiration. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
I seen that a lot too. I like
yeah.
embracing our culture, like that. Uh, Other ethnicities, and I got mad respect for that. And like they said, Mexicano es nace donde quiere. He's
Mm-hmm.
born wherever he wants. And I love that. I love that, and I think it should be the same for every culture. I love other cultures too. I love Japanese art. Like, I want to get into it, but I don't want to disrespect. So I'm trying to study the subject, go profound on it, and then eventually realize, I mean,
Yeah.
kind of like, pay attribute to them,
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Thank
And
you so much.
what do you think that you, when you're creating your art, do you think that it's easier to express um, some things that emotions that you can't express in words? Do you think that it comes out in your art?
Oh yeah, mostly definitely. I feel like there's times where I get on that state of flow or a flow state where I'm like zoned out and like everything goes like this
Mm-hmm.
to the one piece I'm working on. So everything else, all the noise, everything else, when people are trying to talk to me, everything else disappears and it goes down to this.
Oh, yeah.
So for me it's very important for me to take care of that, and that really helps me on on my spiritual and mental health as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important for me to like sometimes, and even when I'm doing lives, I feel like I don't get like the full attention that I need on at the time because my attention is everywhere.
Yeah.
But little by little, I've learned to kind of like take a break and of course,
Right.
people, viewers that are watching,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
try to pay some respect and
Yeah.
but it gets tough. It gets tough as an artist because you get zoned out. You get especially if you love what you're doing and especially when you go through the struggle, like when you did something that you don't agree with and you try to like reverse that and you can't reverse it. Sometimes you gotta like overwrite it.
Yeah.
And when you overwrite it, sometimes you gotta like understand the concept that you're creating to overwrite it. So and it takes a lot from like like your attention. It just requires a lot of you, when you're creating.
Yeah. So
So I love it.
your mind quiets down while you're
Mm-hmm.
creating,
Yeah.
and you kind of zone out everything else. Um,
Yeah, even like if I'm going through like hard times, struggles, and all that, like personal issues, like it's one of like they say, it's one of those days.
yeah.
Even though if I have one of those days, I feel like if I could just pick up either a pen, a pencil, a brush, paint, or even like sit still and like kind of like organize my ideas, like brainstorm a lot and put together a concept. Like that even helps me. Like I don't even have to paint or draw. Like I just have to be in the creative mode and the state of flow. And that
Mm,
and as long as I do that, I feel like I could I could be in peace with myself and like you know
right.
be
Right.
more approachable to like whatever I'm doing, like
Right.
in creating that creative mode.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's that. I feel that a lot of us artists are pretty much to that explanation to the point, because you're trying to create, you're trying to kind of show what you want to show, but at the same time, you can't have the noise in your mind and the noise around you, unless you have that capability of, like you said, zoning it out. And I think that's also a talent that you can gain, or you can learn or practice on, is by zoning everything out. You can zone people out and then zone your work in, or
And honestly, yeah. And honestly, I feel like um, I've been trying to. Sometimes we try too hard.
mm,
We gotta like kind of like kind of relax and get it down. Like don't be too like hard with yourself sometimes.
yeah.
I feel like we're too hard with ourselves and we want things to be perfect, but there's no perfection. You're only gonna learn by try to be as creative as you can and be you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
if you like, sure, there's a lot of different types of art, different types, different, and You could pick one, you could pick two, you could pick all of them. It doesn't matter. Like, as long as at the end of the day, like there's other artists that are doing, we categorize all these types of art, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then we say we're supposed to be on this one. No, like I'm a surreal artist, or I'm a abstract artist, or I'm a,
Right.
whatever artist. But in reality, an artist is an artist. Like, I feel like there shouldn't be a limit of what your mind could do, or your talent could do. Like, I feel like you could accomplish that, if you have the right mindset.
Yeah.
If you could just like control yourself and your emotions, and like concentrate that into a point, I feel like you could anything is possible. Your anxieties, everything. I mean, it's I'm sure it's out there, as well as studies. Like, it says that art like helps
It does.
with
It
mental
does.
mental health.
Yeah, I've learned a lot of that. That people turn to art in whatever form that they're good at, or that they feel that they're good at. And something that you mentioned, that we expect perfection out of our work, but sometimes we forget that it is perfect. It already is perfect. We're just overthinking it, and taking too much pressure on ourselves sometimes. But
Yeah, because there is too many styles of art, so you could fit your art style in any category, and I don't think there should be like I think I don't know, we categorize our art in like, like, oh, he's better than you, or I'm better than you, or I want to be like him,
mm-hmm.
or her, or all this and all that. But in reality, no one is better than no one, because art is subject to anyone. So
Yeah.
no one is really, you know, there's really not a perfect artist out there.
Right.
It's really
Right.
not, because art ain't perfect. So why are we fighting over who sells more, who sells less?
Right.
Art is art. That art is made to express yourself, and have a voice, and not just that, but also everything else that comes with it. That state of mind, like the peace of mind that brings you, like all this positive things, that you could get off of art.
Yeah. That's
So,
what I was going to ask you. Like, do you think that your view on your experiences in life, do you think that you view them different once you've created so much so far? Do you think that your view on your own personal life has changed at all?
um, yeah, I mean, yes, because at some point I was very immature. So when I was painting, when I was sketching and all that, I was very immature, like as a man and as a human being.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. As I grew up, and as I developed my art, and as I started to embrace it,
Mm-hmm.
and coming into a conclusion that really this is who I am. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I always been an artist since I was born. Since I could remember, I always picked up a pencil, crayon, whatever, and
Right.
my finger on the dirt,
Yeah.
whatever. Even on my skin, like I would like go there like that with my own nails, and like,
Yeah.
when you're in school, yeah, I got myself a
Yeah.
tat.
Yeah.
I'll go
Yeah.
like that and draw my, if I didn't have a pencil. I mean, just dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I always knew it was in me. I always knew I always wanted to be an artist. Like, the problem was like, how can I be an artist? Like, how can I create? That was my question. How can I create? And then in my life, God always put people like my uncles that were crazy. They were always doing like posters for like schools, and then they'll do less like the skull with the hat. It was all like cartoonish, but I liked. And then one of my uncles was doing already like murals, not murals, but he was doing like he was just painting on my niece's bedroom, like
Oh. Yeah.
Tweety and
Yeah.
like Looney Tunes. So I'm like, oh, I already saw that, and I was like, huh. I'm like, whoa, whoa, I like that.
Yeah.
It's something that I grew up with, something that it was always around me. I saw people doing it, and now, like now that all these years, I look back my childhood, it's always been there.
Yeah,
So,
being from a creative family, I've learned myself. My father was a vocalist his entire life, so he toured the country and he was gone a lot, but he showed me art through music. My mom showed me
mm,
art through writing and also
mm,
through sketching and painting because I when I was a kid she sent me to like a little art school that would meet on Saturday afternoons and things like that, and I had no clue that you could take something and lose yourself into a painting and create something so beautiful. I come from a really humble background. I didn't grow up with
same
money,
here.
and I didn't grow up having, I'm an only kid, but um, a lot of people say, oh, well, if you were an only child, you must have been so spoiled. And it wasn't necessarily like that because we were broke. We grew up broke and we grew up in a really harsh inner city in Detroit, Michigan. And so,
Um,
you had to get inspiration from something because everything around you at that
Dark,
time
huh?
was negative and dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had to think, well, what's my vision, and so that's why I was wondering, do you think that do you think that anyone do you believe that anyone can just start their creative mind and go with it, or do you think that some
I
people
think if
are
you,
meant
yeah,
for it?
some people are chosen, quote unquote,
Mm,
only certain people. Huh. I think it comes down to the will of man.
yeah.
Like, are you willing? Are you willing to sacrifice a lot? Are you willing to pay the price? Are you willing to suffer on this thing until you see it to a fulfillment? Are you willing to sacrifice your time into a little piece like that?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're willing to do that, then it's limitless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
your mind's it's like that movie Limitless. You
Yeah.
don't need no
Yeah.
pill though. I feel like if you God has given you a gift, like has given everyone, each one of us gift. They're
Mm,
differently. Like you're better than me at some things, and so is my neighbor and so on and so on. So I feel like if we if there's a will, I think if there's a will, there's a power. I feel like if you could do it, if there's that will, like you could do it. Like I feel like you could concentrate yourself. Like you just got to get on the right state of mind and in that flow state.
yeah.
I feel like you don't have to. You got to clear your mind, and you got and also I feel like meditating and prayer is very like powerful. Like people underestimate the power on that. Like I do that a lot.
I
Me
believe so too.
and I'm not a saint. I'm not all this and I'm not all that. I'm just saying that it's more for a self sufficiency that I needed. I needed
Mm,
to survive, and I need meditation. I need prayer in my life because other than that, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do. Like my mind and my soul will be all over the place, scattered, and I wouldn't be able to concentrate and put my full attention into what I'm trying to do because I know that it's saturated. I'm saturated with so much.
mm-hmm.
So you got to release all that. It's like Bruce Lee said, be like water. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Flow
Yeah.
like water.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
another good quote. And the Bible says if you have the mind of Christ, you could do all things. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
he says the spirit of life, is within you. The kingdom is within you, risen kingdom.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is like you have the mind that God gave you, use it.
That's
Use it. You
that's
got the
very
spirit
powerful.
of a warrior, use it.
That's very powerful words because I believe that a lot of people do underestimate the power of prayer or meditation or anything spiritual. They underestimate it, and I think that they dismiss it when
Oh, We got cut off over here.